Hi, everyone, and welcome to this World Sports Betting Cape Town Met 2025 betting preview. I'm Brent Graham from goodforthegame.co.za. Looking forward to talking to you about certainly one of the three biggest races in the country. And I'm joined by Hilton Hasson, a long-time friend of mine, the first guy ever to take a banner out on Good for the Game years ago. I think you worked for a company called Betting World. Then, Hilt, how are you, mate?
Fine, are you, Brent? I think the company was Sports Review at the time, somewhere in 2005, if I'm not mistaken.
It's true. It was before I joined up with Chris on Good Game. It was Sports Review. And you were the first person to phone us and say, let's take a banner. At that stage, I mean, sports betting, Hilton, was totally in its infancy.
Yeah, 100%, Brent. It's amazing sort of the evolution that we've seen now. I think in those days they used to price up on match winner and one handicap, and that was about it.
Exactly. And of course, horse racing also come a long way. I was saying, I'm not a regular horse racing punter, Hilton. I know you follow the game very, very closely indeed. There are three race meetings I like to get involved with, potentially four, the King's Plate being perhaps the fourth one, but it's the Met, it's the Summer Cup, and of course it's the July. The Met is absolutely huge. You down in Cape Town at the moment. What's the atmosphere like there? Is it the place to be seen on Saturday afternoon?
Yeah, absolutely. It's incredible how the sort of race has grown over the last few years since Cape Racing took over. Weather's looking great too. I think they're expecting a high of like 30 degrees. So yeah, it's going to be a great day's racing.
Excellent. Well, just to mention to the viewers what we're going to be doing here on this particular video, we're just going to chat about the Met, and then there's going to be another video uploaded shortly afterwards on the YouTube channel, and then we'll go over all the races on the card with Chris Sturdy, who has already put a preview up on Good for the Game, covering all of those races. He's got a fancy in every race, and I know Hilton likes a couple as well. But let's go to the Met itself. Hilton, I'm just going to bring up the, let's call it the latest betting. Obviously, betting is subject to change, and we expect plenty of change as we approach race day and also the race itself. So, first of all, talk me through the sort of studying that you've done on this. Have you had a good look at every horse? Is it a race you've really applied your mind to?
Yeah, Brent, I think this year it seems, unlike previous years, it seems less competitive. When I say less competitive, probably less horses that can win. Still very competitive, but I've obviously studied the form going back to sort of last year's Met and all the prep runs coming in, and watched the barrier draw last week. So yeah, it's sort of made the picture a little bit clearer.
100%. Well, let's have a look at the betting there. We got the Snape Runner 8 on 18 is the favorite here at 3-1. Oriental Charm, who, correct me if I'm wrong, Oriental Charm won the Durban July?
Yeah, that's correct, Brent.
Yeah. 9-2 second favorite. We've got Red Palace, Dean Kannemeyer, and Lorena in the irons there at 9-1. 9-1. See it again under Striker Stratum, 58 years old. I was reading an article. Or was it 54, 58? I can't remember. But anyway, incredible that Stratum is still riding. And we've got 14-1 and Better the Balance. So, Hilt, maybe take us through, give us your summary of the riders and who you fancy.
Yeah, Brent, it's weird because sort of 2 or 3 weeks ago, 8 on 18 really wasn't part of the discussion. Snaith Stable said from the start that their main mission was going to be the Derby in February. But I think once Justin saw that one stripe wasn't going to be running in the Met, he thought to himself, well, I've got to take the chance. And at anti-post betting was around 25-1. And as soon as one stripe declared that he wasn't going to run, that's when Justin thought, okay, well, I've got the right horse here and I'm going to take a chance. And one thing about the Snaith Stable, Brent, is that they don't just put horses in grade 1 races to fill up numbers. If he didn't think the horse was going to win, he wouldn't have nominated it.
Yeah, so they're putting in it, they're knowing, well, and the betting suggests that, of course, that we've got a 3-1. So, yeah, if you've got a hold of that 25-1 anti-post, you're looking pretty good there. So, just tell me, 8 on 18, what's the reason it's favored? What's it sort of done in the build-up that leads it to a 3-1 price here?
Well, interestingly, he's actually never done the distance. The furthest that he has gone is 1,600 meters. He raced behind one stripe, but breeding suggests, his father Lancaster Bomber won over 2,000 meters. He's just got that type of look for a very forward 3-year-old, and it's always difficult to sort of trial a 2,000 meters in a grade 1 as your first sort of 2,000 meter race. But the way that he's run and the form and everything that's worked out behind him, yeah, he's definitely going to. I think he'll see the distance, and he's definitely going to be running on at the end.
And who are the big dangers there? Maybe let's start looking at the 4-5 horses behind him in the betting, and then you can go down and see what else we fancy.
Yeah, I think Oriental Charm. It's quite difficult because his King's Plate run was so bad. He came back from a rest after winning the July, won the Green Point Stakes very well over 1600, and then his run in the King's Plate just was very flat. I suppose a lot of people can make the excuse that it was second run back. Um, he was very very fancied. He was a 3-1 favorite before the King's Plate, and then when he sort of finished 8 or 9 lengths behind, I think that's when people realised there may be value in other horses. The thing about Oriental Charm, though, is that he's with the Brett Crawford stable. And obviously, as we know, Crawford stable send their horses out fit and well on these big race days. So you kind of need to take into account, do you write off the last run? Is it just a bad run? Or is there something sort of more serious going on? Because I did notice in the stops that there was a vet check. And that's always concerning for a horse.
Right, and anything else then going down there? I know Montien is a horse you mentioned to be pre-show that you got a bit of a fancy for. That's 16-1.
Yeah, definitely. I think that King's Plate run behind One Stripe was excellent. There's always been the doubt that he stays, and he hasn't actually proven himself over 2,000 meters at Kenilworth yet. But the way he came back in the King's Plate, he was up there with him, and Give Me a Prince came past him in the sort of final 200 meters, and he fought back to finish second. So I think that shows that he's probably going to do the 2,000 meters this time. I don't think there's going to be too much pace. So from that draw, he's going to have to make a decision, probably go around them, settle in second or third. And if there isn't a strong pace, then I think he'll see out the distance. I think he is a huge run at 16-1. And sort of 5-2 a place, I think is very big value.
Yeah, so as you say, if a horse, if there's a pace on it, obviously makes the distance harder to see out for horses with stamina doubts. What does it mean, though? Like I see drawn 15 here. In a sense, if the pace is, as you say, is that where his decision comes in? Because if the pace is not on, you could be caught well out wide. So you've almost got to make a call then to go to the front. So
yeah, pretty much.
Almost,
I think from that,
you almost want a bit of a pace from the gate, and then it's to slow down to suit Montien.
Absolutely, unless they take the decision that if there is not going to be a pace, he's just going to go straight to the sort of the front from the start, make up that distance, right, and then sort of dictate the pace himself. Brent, it's quite interesting though with the Met. It's with the July. I always find that sort of the classier horses win, if I can say that. With the Met, it's more sort of the long striding, galloping horses that have won. I mean, you look back past years, Past Master, Marshall Eagle, Hill 54, Polo Classic. Those types, even Alistair, those types of horses didn't have strong finishing bursts. They were just gallopers. And if Montien does pitch up on the day, he's definitely going to give H on 18 a very big run for his money.
Excellent. We're looking forward to that. Just going down the list, anything that you can see, let's say 20-1 or better, Atticus Finch and below, anything that you can see running into the top three? I
think, Magic Verse is definitely the most improved horse in the race. He ran a really, really good race behind Rascallion last time. Merit ratings, he's way out, but I think sometimes you just have to throw the merit ratings out the window and look at the actual form. And if you think Rascallion's got a chance from that draw of 16, then obviously you need to give Magic Verse a bit of respect as well.
Excellent. Well, let's go on and just have a look at your selections for the main race. Just a reminder, look out on our YouTube channel. We're going to be going through all the races on the card, and Hilton's got a couple more bet fights there. But to summarize, Hilton, for you, 8 on 18 at 3-1. Definitely the horse to beat, a worthy favorite. Montien 16-1 looks the value play. And then what I've thrown in there, and let me know what you think about this one. I've said the Swinger 10 and 15, which means, of course, that both horses have to run in the top three. But I would imagine that would pay. I'm thinking that'll pay around the 20 rand mark would be my estimate if that Swinger came in. What do you think? Somewhere there?
Yeah, I think so, Brent. I think that's probably sort of the dividend you're going to be looking at. And the best thing about Meta is that they are big pools. So, we sort of used to very small pools in the normal bread and butter races, but with the World Pool commingling, there's going to be some really, really big dividends.
Looking forward to it. You going to the track, or will you be watching? Will you be watching from the couch?
It's actually the first time in 30 years that I'm in the industry that I'm going to the track and not working. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Brilliant! It's going to be a great day. Lee going to be there with you?
Yeah, she's working. She's in the tent, but she'll be around.
Excellent. You'll be just punting horses. That's great. If you are new to our channel, subscribe now. Hit the like button as well. It helps us a lot. And of course, I've got my free betting newsletter that goes out each week. I must declare that it's predominantly rugby based. but there'll certainly be some net bets in it for tomorrow. Thanks very much for joining us, Hilton. Thank you very much for coming on the show, and look forward to catching up with you in a few minutes as we run through the rest of the card. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, man.